Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the very first episode of the Women Got Games podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
And whoop whoop, it is your dear, I don't know, crazy ass gamer level up Leslie. And of course, we have Miss Lynn. Woo!
Hello, hello,
Oh,
hello.
I can need to mute myself here
Wow.
because apparently I'm coming through on the computer. So we need to mute myself.
Or either
Okay.
just turn the volume down on the computer.
All right, I did. We're good now. Sorry about that. So we have Miss Lynn from Gaming Gadgets and Technology with us. We are your two lovely hosts. So welcome to episode one. Woo! I'm so
Let me
excited
tell
for
y'all,
this.
it's been a feat getting this started. And look, Satan is not winning today. Okay, so we are here with y'all today.
Yep, we are here. So I figured since this is the very first episode, that we would kind of do a little introduction to ourselves, to your beautiful hosts. Eventually, we will be having guests. So if anyone is interested in being a guest on the podcast, please let us know in the comments or send us a message on Twitter at Women Got Games. And yeah, it's gonna be so awesome. I cannot wait to begin this journey. And we are here. We are step one. It has taken forever, but we did it. We're here. We're finally getting started. So, first, I guess we should start off by talking about how we got into gaming. And then I guess we can talk about why we created Women Got Games. So, Lynn, you go first. You tell me how you got started in gaming. What was the very first game you played? Who inspired you to start gaming? Any of the details.
I can't really tell you, I don't, no one in particular inspired me to play games. But the first gaming system I ever had was a Nintendo, just a regular NES system. And of course it's like Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
usually the one that everyone starts with.
yeah, but I mean, I personally have been more partial to handhelds, to be honest, which is probably why I enjoy the Switch so much. um but um yeah, I think what was the other question?
Well, yeah, well, basically how you got started in gaming. Is there any like games that you recall that really like you really were like, oh, I really love this. This is I want to keep doing this. I want to keep gaming. Was there anything in particular like that?
I can't think of anything right off. Now, keep in mind, guys. Look, I'm going through a bit of a migraine situation right now, so it's hard for me to concentrate fully. But again, we are here, and that is not going to stop me from for us doing what we have to do. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
can't think of anything right off.
Okay. So, what is it like for you as a female being in the gaming space? Well, as a female of color at that too, because I know, we're all out. You know what's really funny? I was looking at all of the like females that I support who are gamers, and they're mostly all of color, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. You guys are my sisters. I love you guys. So, um, yeah. What is that like for you? What is that experience for you?
To be honest, I don't really play a ton of multiplayer games unless it's with you guys, people that I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And if I do, I don't turn mic on. And I know there are a lot of games that require you to have a mic. So I generally either not play a ton of multiplayer games because I know how people are. And I like to play games for fun. I'm not sitting up here getting ready to argue with anybody because I done made a mistake and because you butt hurt because I made a mistake. Or It could be a game that I'm particularly good at, and then I'm carrying the team, and then so it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just not even deal with that. So unless it's with people that I know, I really don't play a ton of multiplayer games with randoms. I mean, things don't never really go right anyhow when you playing with randoms because everybody's all gung ho and all out for self, and don't nobody team. There's really no team sportsmanship when it comes to that. I mean, very seldom, very few and far in between, you might find a team where people actually play their roles. But other than that, unless it's because, we all know each other's play styles. So we already know based on certain characters and stuff that we play on certain games, we already know what we're about to do. And we tend to communicate a lot, and we communicate very well when we play the games that we play. So, or
Yeah.
we strategize, and that I love that. For me, it's a bit difficult to do that with random people because you don't know them, they don't know you. I understand it's a way to meet new people or whatnot, but a lot of people they take this thing entirely too seriously. Gaming should be fun. Look, we are not making money off of this, so don't sit up here and come at me with no BS. So
Yeah. I 100% agree with that, but yeah, for sure. So, what's your favorite system right now? What's your favorite system? Well, I know you love the Switch, but like is
it is
is that
now
is that your
other
favorite?
other than that is the Xbox. It's either Switch or Xbox. That's where I'm normally at. Like
Yeah.
I primarily, to be honest, and I know this sounds bad, but I primarily use my PlayStation 4 as a media center. So, and I know, like I said, that sounds bad, but to be honest with you, I cannot stand the PS4 controller. I don't like it. It hurts. Like if you gaming for a long period of time, and see, I have long fingers, so the way I hold the controller, it like digs into like the middle of my hand, and it over time it becomes crampy, and it's an issue. It's a pain. Now, gaming with the Xbox One controller, on the other hand, is comfortable. Um, and of course, the Switch is the Switch. But I'm gonna tell you this: there are certain games that I prefer on console rather than the Switch. I'm speaking in handheld mode, okay? Because a lot of times the controls on the Switch are clunky, and then it makes me not even want to play them on the Switch. Whereas on Xbox or PlayStation is more akin to being muscle memory. So it's muscle memory when it comes to that. But on the Switch, I don't know why, but things are much more difficult and ass backwards, excuse my term, um, to play games on the Switch. And, there's some games that I really, really enjoy, like Two Point Hospital. It sucks playing it on the Switch. But on the Xbox, it's muscle memory. I'm like, all right, cool. It's like you already know what to do. I
Yeah.
played Road Company on the Switch. I hate it. I legit hate it. The controls are just it's not right with me. But playing it on the Xbox, we good. So, certain games it's not as fun in my opinion. This is my opinion. To
Yeah.
play on Switch rather than play on console. So
I agree. I agree, honestly. It gets confusing because what is it? Like their A button is like the A button on other consoles, so it's confusing. Like so
hmm
then you end up hitting the wrong thing and it's just like you switch to another console and you get all messed up. But yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
like their A button is B button on, so it's like, it's horrible.
Yeah. So for me personally, I started playing video games. I was like probably 5 or 6 years old. My mom had me really young, so she was a single parent. So my aunt and uncle would watch me when she had to work. And my uncle, had this Commodore 64, and like they never knew what to do with me because they were all young still, like they were still teenagers. So he would sit me in front of the Commodore, and I first played Donkey Kong. It's like the original arcade version, you know, where you had to like climb up, and it was like all noises and stuff. Like, and you basically had to jump over the barrels and save the princess. And so that was like my first gaming experience, like that I remember as a little kid. So I guess you could say, you know, my uncle started it all. But then, like, he also had an Atari, and I played a lot of Frogger. And I guess the very first console that I ever had was an NES, just like you. And that one I actually ended up getting towards the end of the life cycle. My mom never wanted me to play video games. So my biological dad got me one as, like, I don't know, I guess a way to buy my love. So, what I ended up doing was spending a lot of time with my friend. She had a Nintendo, and she would bring over her games, and we would spend hours playing video games all night long, driving my mom crazy. Like, she would yell at us to go to bed. We'd just be giggling, trying to get Mario to the next level. And let me see what else. Like, Maniac Mansion was one. There were several games that I could be like, oh yeah, you know, I really love these. My first experience with the Super NES was at my friend Ampy's house. My parents never let me sleep over anybody's house. Allowed to sleep over two people's house. My friend Athena and then my friend Ampy play them while he was sleeping.
Oh, that is mean. Shame on mama.
So I blame her now for my habit. I'm like, well, when I spend hours playing video games, it would have just been okay if you would have just let me do it when I was younger. I would have gotten it out of my system probably, and it would have been over with. But yeah, probably not, because it was just in me. So he had the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, and 4. He was the PlayStation guy, but he did have a GameCube, so I did play that a lot. And I did play a lot of the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. And, you know, it's just a shame because, like, honestly, if she would have fostered it, who knows how far, like, I would have gotten with a lot of things. But she's just like, that's for boys. Girls don't play video games, which is not true. Ladies, we make up 46% of the population who play video games. So, woo woo, female power. Female power. So, let me see. So I think like the console that I play the most on right now is Xbox, mostly because that's where all of my friends are. I had the original Xbox. I had the 360. As you can tell, like by talking to Mumu and stuff, a lot of the friends that I have had on there have been friends since the 360. So we're going back like, almost 10 years, maybe longer, you know, longer than that, honestly. And I really I just enjoyed that time of like, I will say the thing that ruined Xbox for me is the parties, because here's the deal. Like when I play multiplayers, and I play a lot of multiplayers because you know I play a lot of first person shooters. So when I play multiplayers, I feel like I need people to communicate with me. And back in, what was it, 2011, Mumu had joined PMS first, and she asked me if I wanted to join, and I was like, yeah, sure, you know, this sounds fun. It's a bunch of girls who are all into gaming, and it was awesome, to be honest. But you know, it just started to conflict with my schedule because you needed to actually go to practices and stuff, and you had to do like 4 hours a week, and I started to work a lot, but that didn't end up being very helpful. But I did enjoy the time that I did have playing with PMS. So, like I said, I play a lot of multiplayers. So when parties came along, you could no longer talk to anybody because everybody was in their parties with their prospective friends. And not a lot of people were in like just game chat. And if you were in a game chat, you were kind of a douche. I have had guys mostly guys. It's always guys. Say stupid things because, of course, I have like a babyish voice, so people thought I was a 12-year-old boy, and they would say things like, "Talk to me when your balls drop," and I'd be like, "Well, that's never gonna happen." But
Yeah.
thanks. um, yeah, I got that a lot. Or my personal favorite was, "Oh, you should be in the kitchen making me a sandwich."
See?
Uh,
Oh, girl. Mm.
Oh yeah, I got that a lot too. One time I was playing a Call of Duty match, and I think we lost by 1 point, and it was really bad because I was the final death. So I basically put the nail in the coffin, and I got really upset because we were doing so well. So I got really upset, and I think like I was screeching in we weren't in party chat during this time. It was game chat. I was screeching, and somebody was like, "Oh my god, is that a Furby?" I think I was on decibel levels that only dogs could hear at that point.
Oh, Leslie. That is funny. I'm sorry.
So, and and then like I said, I really enjoyed spending time with PMS because number one, you couldn't be in a party, you had to be in game chat, so you had to talk to people on the other team. So if there was anybody on the other team that wasn't in party chat, sometimes it was kind of fun. I remember this one time we came across this group of guys, and guys being guys, you had to have PMS as your clan tag when you played on Call of Duty, because that's mostly what I played anyway.
What does that stand for?
So it stands for Pandora's Mighty Soldiers. Okay. So,
I mean, when I saw PMS, I was thinking actual PMS.
well, that's what all the guys who we came across would be like, "Oh my god, that's so funny because you guys are girls and you guys have PMS as your clan tag. Do you guys all menstruate together?" And oh my gosh, we would get that so much. And this one time, okay, the other thing was too, you weren't allowed to cuss during practice time because some of our members were under 18. So you weren't allowed to cuss during practice time. So I got into the habit of like every time I wanted to curse, I would make a weird noise like me. I would censor myself basically because I let the F-bombs fly. So that really did help me keep it under control. So we're in this party with these guys, and they're like, "No, seriously though, what does PMS stand for?" Like they were being jerks at first. So finally, like all the girls are just staying quiet, and I just like, "It stands for penis must suffer." And they all started busting out laughing, and then we got into the game and we kicked their butts, and they were like, they left.
Good job.
That happened a lot of times. But yeah, so I kind of do miss having like that girl group to play with. I met a lot of nice people through PMS, but I always said I wanted to start my own all-girl clan, so who knows?
Why
maybe
not?
one day. Yeah, one day, but
I've always wanted to do a all-girl league for like gaming league for like
esports.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not at all the professional level. If you guys don't know, I am visually impaired. I mean, some of whoever comes across this might actually know us, but I'm visually impaired, so that kind of makes it hard to kind of be a gamer sometimes. Because I see, especially like Josh, who is my fiance, Papa Reven, he has extreme ADHD. So when he can focus on something, he's like hella focused. So with Call of Duty, like he can see people really, really far away, and I'm like, how the hell did you see that person?
Exactly.
Like I don't have the acuity, and it sucks sometimes because I feel like I do so terrible, but I'm not as bad as I used to be. I do pretty well. I can hold my own. I mean, not bad considering that like I can barely see half the time. So sometimes I realize, especially when I used to watch my gameplays back and stuff, that I would miss stuff that was like so obvious. But you know,
But that's how it always happens. Every time you go back and look, you're like, how the hell did I miss that? Like, I do it all the time. I'm like, wait a minute now.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, okay, I do my best. I do what I do. But, I also thought about, honestly, I've really thought about doing this and do like game reviews, but from the perspective of someone who's visually impaired, so that maybe developers can maybe change some things. Like, for instance, Call of Duty, their multiplayer maps, when they have their little map that will show you where the enemies are, the little red dots, like it's all the way up top. Like, I put it down below, like where I can actually like look and see, because I just like I can't deal. Or like I don't know, Battlefield had a problem with shadows and their first I think it was Battlefield 5. I never got Battlefield 5 because of the fact that it had such problems with shadows. It was just too much for my eyes to deal, so I never got the game. But they also make it for someone who is visual. So I mean, but if Microsoft can make adaptive controllers for the disabled, why can't gaming companies develop just little input things, that would make it easier for someone who is visually impaired and a gamer?
There are some games that actually do that, though. And
Whoa.
I think this, is it this one, the Rogue Company? Because I do remember seeing something in some menus of some game we were playing that you can adjust if you are visually impaired. There is,
Oh.
I've seen it, but I don't remember which game because I was in the
Oh.
menu looking at stuff. I want to say maybe it would, maybe, I don't remember. Don't quote me. I'll have to find it again, but it's something we all played.
Okay.
I want to say maybe it was Road Company, but don't quote me on that. But it was some game we were playing. It did have controls that, things you can change based upon visually impairment. Yes, I saw that.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to
Or
check it out and
maybe
see.
maybe it was Grounded. I don't remember, but I've seen it and I've seen it recently because I thought about you when I saw it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I know. I also noticed that like Xbox has like a navigation feature where they do like talk to like, so
Yeah.
basically like you move your controller and it'll talk to you, but that gets really annoying. That navigation is not very good. Um but they do the same thing like on iPhones and stuff
You
for
could change the size too. Oh, I saw a video. A girl was legit visually impaired, like she couldn't see at all, and she was using her iPhone, and she was actually able to use Braille on her iPhone. It was freaking amazing.
yeah.
Like she was able to send text messages. She was able to use her iPhone like regular people can use their iPhones, and she was blind. It was amazing. I loved it. I'm like, wow. So she was literally doing braille and sending text messages, and her phone was talking to her, and when she would touch the icons and stuff, and it was
Yeah.
telling her what icon was what, and she just double tap it and it opens.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I've tried using that too. Sometimes, like my eyes get tired, but um, to me, I mean, I feel like you really have to be completely blind to take advantage, because just staring at that gets kind of frustrating, and
yeah.
it's really sad because it's kind of like I'm in the in between. Like I'm not completely blind, but I'm also still sighted, so it's a little hard to navigate sometimes. For me personally.
Mhm.
But yeah. So I mean, I guess my favorite system right now, since I went through the list of everything I asked you, it's always Xbox. I think I mentioned that already. I'm really enjoying the Switch. With everything that's been going on, Animal Crossing got me through a lot of dark times. But I also feel like Animal Crossing got boring because we became billionaires, and that's when it became boring.
No, it's billionaires.
Oh, sorry,
Billionaires.
billionaires. We became billionaires, and that's when it got a little boring. Probably because it was no longer challenging. We could just go ahead and buy anything.
I'm having fun rolling in my bales. I don't owe Tom. I don't owe Tom Nook ish.
I know, right? Oh my gosh.
Kick rocks, Tom. Bye bye.
I'm actually thinking about starting a new island for stream because now that we can save and restore, I was going to switch my current island to my Switch Lite and then have an island just for stream.
So all your bells gonna leave?
No, because they'll go with me to the other island.
But you're gonna have to transfer them manually.
Yeah, that's okay. I can send myself bells.
Mm-hmm. That's too much.
I saw who was it? Stormy. She started a whole new island.
Lord, she was like, child, she changes her island. I think she done changed her island like 10 times already. I'm like, I'm not going through all that and having to change my island, start over from scratch, rebuild everything back up, move all my rocks again. I'm not doing that. No, I would literally cry if I lost my island.
Oh no.
I'm not doing it. All my bells, moving all the rocks, that took a long time. Like,
it sure did take a long time. Especially since I tried to do it the other way at first.
Yeah, you wouldn't listen to me, but okay.
I finally listened. But yeah. So what games are you playing now? I mean, we kind of played a lot of the same games, but is there anything that you're really into right now?
Grounded. Hello.
Yeah, Grounded is amazing. You guys, if you haven't checked it out, it is on Xbox Game Pass. It is a game preview game, so of course it's in beta. It's kind of buggy, but it's awesome. So it's like if you've ever seen Home Alone. Not Home Alone. What am I talking about? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yes. I'm like, whew, thinking about Home Alone. Anyway, so if you ever saw Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, it's like that. Like you're the kid stuck in the yard and you need to do all these challenges in order to survive, and you get bugs attacking you and nature, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. We definitely have to continue playing.
Oh, heck yeah. And the scariest thing in life is you playing in first person and you turn around and there's something huge standing right there ready to attack, whether it's a wolf spider, a freaking stink bug or whatever. They are all humongous compared to you. A blade of grass is as tall as a building, guys. This game,
that's how tiny you are.
Amazing, and I love it. I love it. Ants are smaller than you, but the game is so much fun. It is so much fun, and it's so pretty. But heck, it's scary. It's scary.
Oh my goodness. I was recording some gameplay, which I have to edit, but I was recording some gameplay and I was daylight, complete daylight. Imagine if it would have been at night. I would have lost it. But I turned around and there was a spider right in my face and I was like, ah! Mm-hmm. I had a full-on scream moment. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that just scared the poop out of me.
That happened to me on stream several times. It's like, I'm good.
Also, if you're afraid of spiders, there's an arachnophobia mode, so you can turn that off. But my whole thing with that is if you turn off the spiders, do they not spawn in, or you just don't see them? Because if you don't see them, what are you getting attacked by an imaginary spider? What?
I assume if you turn that on, that they just don't spawn in.
Oh, well, okay, that makes sense. But then
we are currently in a big old turmoil with the wolf spider, and we can't get out of the situation. So we gotta
I know.
Figure it out.
We are stuck in a soda can, and we are not coming out because he's just stalking us. We just haven't had any armor put together yet or anything like that, so he's just stalking us. Excuse me. Aside from that, let me see. I've been playing a lot of app games. I always play a lot of app games, which I people are like, oh, if you play mobile games, you're not a real gamer. But listen, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and sometimes my bed is my island, and I don't want to leave it.
Yeah, but it don't matter if you enjoy mobile games. You enjoy mobile games. My go-to mobile game is COD. And look,
Yes,
I'll play Call of Duty mobile, but it's difficult for me to play the game on console. Maybe I have a mental thing because I'm not good at shooters, but on that mobile game, I'm pretty decent.
I think it's a mental block that you have because you're not as
It
bad
might
as you
be.
think you are. Because you do pretty good. You do pretty good with Rogue Company, and that's third person. So all you need is first person, and you'd be okay. I'm sure you do good. I think you just got a little bit of a mental block.
Hmm.
So, have you gotten any new tech lately? Since we in the realm of everything geeky.
Well, I'm getting a Samsung Galaxy Active 2
Nice,
watch. The
nice, nice, nice.
44 millimeter one, not the 40 millimeter one, the 44. So it might look a little big with my little tiny wrist, but that's okay.
No, those are good though. They're not as big as you think they are because the Apple Watch is a 44 millimeter now. It used to be 42, but they upped it to 44, and
Okay.
it's not as big as people think it is. So
Okay.
that's gonna be cool. Let me know how you like it. What are you gonna
Hmm.
use it for besides like phone calls and stuff?
Well, I'm thinking about adding the line to it for the simple fact of anything could happen with the phone. Anything could happen, period. And if you have your watch, you would still be able to use it as you can use your phone. So you don't have to be in proximity of your phone in order to use the phone features. So
Yeah,
like if the phone dies, if I forget it, if it gets stolen or whatever, I could still use the watch to make phone calls even if I'm nowhere near my phone. So I guess it would be worth it in that respect. It's $10 a month to add
yeah,
a
it's
line
definitely
basically. So that's basically what you're doing is you're adding a line. So the watch will have a little SIM card in it, I presume,
yeah.
and
That's it. Yeah.
then you could basically do everything on there that you can on your phone. So
Sweet. Let me know if it also has because I know the Apple Watch has this feature, and I used to love it when I had my Apple Watch, and it will do a little ring. So like if you lose your phone, you can't find your phone, you can ring it from your watch, and you can find your phone.
yeah, it does that.
It does
It
that.
it does
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because I saw a video. To those of you, I like to watch some tech videos, and when I do, I like to watch Floss. Is what's his name? Is it Floss Carter or something like that?
Is that
So
the
I
guy
like.
with the cat?
Yes,
Yes, white
I
shoes.
love white shoes. I love my white shoes. Don't hit me with copyright. Don't hit me with copyright. But oh my god, I love white shoes. But yes, I watched his video on the watch and he demonstrated it. So yes, that's how I know that it does come with that. So it
Cool.
does. I mean, it does have that feature.
My Apple Watch also has the flashlight, which is helpful. Like it'll just beam this white light in case you need it, um, which is helpful at night when you're like, "Oh, where'd my phone go?"
Hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Everybody, there's like a debate, like Samsung or Apple, Samsung or Apple. Look, I get it. Samsung's that way ahead with their technology, but they copy each other anyway. They just do.
Yeah.
Hello! Look, Joshua said,
What do you
watches
see?
are the best, but I can't wear them. LOL. Then
Oh, I can't even see the chat.
he said, white shoes!
Yay, white shoes!
We love white shoes.
Yes, we do.
So, Josh, Lynn is buying the watch that Dirty told you about. Yeah, Josh told me about it earlier. So, yay!
Hmm. excited. I mean,
Yeah.
I have the Gear 2. I mean, is it the Gear 2? Yeah, the Gear 2. This is the Active 2.
Okay.
So, yeah, this one is a lot this one has more features. Now, the one that I currently have is only Wi-Fi. This one is an LTE, so this one is independent of itself.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
good
can,
though.
yeah, so you can use it in place of your phone.
Yeah, and then you can always you can you can always attach it to the phone and not have its own separate number, but it's good to have its separate number in case, God forbid, you can't find your phone and someone needs to get a hold of you.
Well, okay, the way it works, because I called them earlier today and asked about the watch. The way it works is I think it does have it has its own line, but it's connected to your number. So even if someone calls your phone number, the watch will ring.
Well, okay, it'll still ring. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like a separate phone number, but I don't know how that would appear on your account. You know what I'm saying? If it would appear differently on your account.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think Apple, the way they do it is you can either have it attached to your phone or it has its own number. It's not I don't think it's separate unless you want it to be. If I'm not mistaken. But
Okay.
the last one I had was the 3. This was what my mom told me. She has the 4. The 4 is the one with the LTE. So, but yeah, the
Now,
last one.
see, I mean, I've had Apple phones before, and I still have Apple products. I mean, I have a little mini iPad. I have iPod Touch, and I use my iPod Touch quite often because I download the podcasts and stuff on them, and then that way I can listen to the podcast anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I use it primarily for that. I do not use it for gaming. I use it primarily for, to be able to listen to the different podcasts and stuff that I'm subscribed to. And yes, I'm subscribed to my own podcast.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so sometimes I will go back and listen to our podcast and stuff, and it's really cool. But so yeah, I mean, I'm not biased against Apple products. I do like Apple products. It's just that Apple products are extremely expensive for what they're offering. And as long as people continue to buy into it, they're going to continue to make minor changes and charge more money and silly stuff like that. Um, Now, me personally, I've just always enjoyed the Android ecosystem because to me, Android is more flexible than Apple. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I
so
get it.
yeah, there's a lot more that I can do, in my opinion, on my Android than I can with an Apple product. So that's one thing I did not like when I owned an iPhone, is that you are completely locked down unless you jailbreak with only Apple, apps and stuff like that. And there are some things that Android have that Apple don't. There's some things that Apple have that Android don't.
Yeah.
So, there's a give and a take with anything you choose. But as of me, I prefer, as my daily driver, as they say, a Android.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I've had them both. But I personally, I just always go back to Apple. I don't know. There's just something about. It's also like a visual thing for me. The apps are clean. They're easier to find. Like for me, when I had the Samsung, I had to have it like in basic mode for me to be able to find my apps, which can be kind of take up a lot of space. Those icons get pretty big on Samsung, but it's pretty cool. Josh said that him and Dirty might be Fold 2 brothers. I think Josh is talking Dirty into a Fold 2.
Oh no. No. Let me tell you something. When T-Mobile went live and they was demonstrating, they did an unboxing of that phone. I specifically asked them, hey, is there any kind of protection against dirt and grit getting up under the screen or in the hinge?
Oh no,
They
but that
were
wasn't. That's not the Fold 2. That one hasn't come out yet. The one that
he
you're
he
the one that you're talking about is the Flip Z or something like that.
it's
That one,
it's still a foldable phone. It's
yeah,
still
yeah,
a
yeah.
foldable phone. And he skipped over my question every single time. And I even asked it in all caps. He would read the question above, he would read the question below. There's no way in hell you did not see my question. You just skipped over it. So that's basically telling me no. In my opinion, now this is just me, I feel it's a waste of money to buy any kind of foldable phone because the least little amount of pocket lint or whatever you want to call it can get in the hinge, then it'll ruin your hinge. You got the crunchy sound when you open and closing the phone, or it could get up underneath the screen, and then you've got the little dimple in the screen that's eventually gonna mess up your LCD. So I'm not. I feel it's a waste of money to get a foldable phone. That's just me. I
Josh
think they're too
said.
fragile. They're too
Josh
fragile for
said
how much money they want.
that was the Fold 1 Z Flip. No, it's a different design and it's sealed tight.
I believe it when I see it.
He said, "Hell no." No, yeah, that you are talking about the Z Flip because what they ended up doing was they launched it last year and then they launched it again this year with 5G. So that's the
Ew.
old
I
design.
don't want no 5G phone. I'm sorry. I don't.
But yeah, that's why. Oh god. But yeah, they had that problem with the first one. This is exactly why I told him, don't do the first one. Don't ever do
Yeah.
the first one. Wait for the second one. He said that was a plastic screen and it's is ultra thin glass.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll still believe it when I see it. We're gonna check some Reddit posts when it come
Yeah,
out.
well the Samsung Unpacked is August 5th for any of you who wanted to see it. So they're going to be talking about the phone, but I don't think they're going to be launching it till September. So,
Oh, we could talk about that on the podcast.
yeah, for sure.
And there's
Um,
what is it? Josh sent me the thing they're doing. What was it? Was it a PlayStation thing?
yes.
Yeah, they're doing a PlayStation thing this week too.
So, here's the thing. I'm ready for Xbox and PlayStation to tell us how much their consoles are going to cost. We're
Well,
already in August and we don't
apparently
know.
it's already been leaked. It was a UK thing, but apparently it's already been leaked. The digital only PlayStation will be $399.99. The disc one will be $499.99.
I mean, hey, that's not so bad, which honestly, I'm cool with that if that's what it is.
Yeah.
Do live reactions of what? Of the PlayStation?
I can't because I'll be at work. I'll have to watch it later. I won't be able to watch it when it airs. Because I
Yeah.
think it starts at 4. The PlayStation thing starts at 4. I don't get off to 4:30, so I won't be able to watch that. Now the Unpacked, I don't know what time that starts. I've never really watched that before, but
Josh, what time does the unpack start? I watch the unpacked with him because I do the keynotes for Apple. I love to watch those. I
mm-hmm.
get myself all hyped up. Speaking of Apple, I got the iPad Pro 2020.
Congrats. I can't
And
afford it, but
well, I can't either, but I did it on AT&T Next. Thank you, thank you. So all
well,
you gotta do is pay the taxes up front, which is fine with me. Um, he said, "Oh yeah, what time does the unpack start?" Ah, here we go. Samsung is 10 a.m. So
yeah, no, I won't be able to watch it till after work.
yeah, which is fine. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I got the iPad Pro 2020, the 12.9 inch, and it's It's big and it's flat. Like, it's really thin. But I was debating back and forth because they were saying that it wasn't that much of a difference between the 2020 and the 2018 version. So I was like, well, okay, if I get the 2018 version, let me see how much it is, because if it's not that much of a difference. But it ended up being $3 more a month for the brand new one.
Oh, yeah. I would get the new one too.
So for that, I was just like, forget it. I'm just going to get the 2020 version because I figured I want a way to edit in bed. I'm just being straight up, we're just in lazy mode, okay? And I want a way to edit in bed. My iPad, I tried to edit with it and it would lag because it was from 2018 and it wasn't a Pro. So it just didn't have the RAM capability in order to actually edit. But I watched, I think his channel's called Your Average Dad or something like that. And he does tech reviews. And he, was in love with his iPad 2020. Like, he made a video, this is why you need an iPad 2020. And I was just
well, you give me the money, I'm glad to get an iPad 2020. Them things are high. They are very expensive.
They are definitely expensive. But he was showing, he had this app, too, which I'm eventually going to purchase. But the app is $30, and it's called LumaFusion. And you use it to edit, and he said it's basically the best app to edit with. But I have my subscription to Adobe, so I have Adobe Rush on there. Plus, I forgot that, the iPad comes with iMovie. I completely forgot about that. But I don't like iMovie on the iPad. I don't like the way it looks. I like it for it to look like an actual editing suite like it does on the computer. But yeah, what I do like about this is that you can attach a keyboard to it, which you could on the other iPad, but you can also attach a mouse. So it has mouse capability, which was never a thing before. So it's basically turning your iPad into a laptop. That's what it's doing. So I am just like, you know what? We're just going to do it. We're investing in ourselves, and hopefully this will get me to edit more because, I'm bad at that. I take forever to edit a video. Josh will tell you. Miss Lynn will tell you.
Get it together, Leslie. Get it together.
So whatever will help me get it together. But yeah, plus I also want to do some Apple Arcade gameplay. So I think it would be better on a bigger screen for me personally, visually. But yeah, so I'm excited to give it a try, and we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that it will be awesome for editing because it has, I think it said 6 gigs of RAM, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been on the 11-inch. I think the 12.9 has 8. I could be wrong though, so I'd have to fact check myself, but it should be powerful enough to edit, so hopefully that will be good. Plus, I use it for Procreate too. I like to make up my own little doodles and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for it, so we'll see how it goes. Update to come. I still have to get a new Apple Pencil because I don't think the old one works on the new one. So that sucks.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. They don't even make their own shit backwards compatible. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense to me either. But it's also because the new one, the top of the actual iPad, if you have it horizontally, has a strip that's magnetic. So that's where the new pencil goes for it to charge. So it will charge while your iPad is charging. Which is good because let me tell you, with the old one, it's lightning cable, has a lightning port. So you have to stick it into the iPad to charge it if you don't have your little adapter thing where you can connect it directly to the charger, which kind of drains your battery if you're doing it that way. Also, the thing that I was very impressed with was they made the charging port on the iPad 2020 a Type C. It is not a Lightning port.
But look at how long it took them to do this stuff, though, Leslie. Like,
I agree. It took a long time, but because of that, you could get like a solid state hard drive that has a Type C port, and you could actually save files to a little hard drive, or get like one of those SD card readers that you could plug into there, which honestly, I have a Lightning SD card reader, but my iPad was only 128 gigs, so it would fill up really fast. But this guy, she's got a terabyte on her. I decided she's a girl. I need to name her. I'm gonna come up with a name for her. And so I'm excited to see what I can do on it. I really am.
That's good.
Ooh, yeah. So, let me see. Is there anything else we want to talk about? What are we do we know officially when these consoles are going to launch? Because I am just itching for like a. Also, I don't know if you saw, but I sent you a picture. There is a white Xbox Series X controller. So I'm wondering if, number one, if they're going to launch with a white console too, or if that's for something that's down the line. Because, I'm trying to build an aesthetic here. I'm always with the white consoles. So, oh my God, I would be so excited if they launch as a white console at launch, the way PlayStation is.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I mean, they never do, though. They never do. They always wait.
They need specialty consoles like this Gears X, like this Gears X. They're going to have them. They're going to have some specialty.
But they always wait. They wait so long. Like, listen, okay, if you're going to launch a console from launch,
when I bought an X, I refused to buy the X. I was going to get a Series X from the Xbox One.
Yeah.
But because when they came out with that Gears X, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get that. So that's why I got the X, is because of Gears. And it's a beautiful console. This is a console that I will have forever. This is a console that will never get sold.
Yeah, so, exactly.
It's gorgeous. And I actually use the controller too. I mean, hello,
Yeah, that's definitely great. I think it's beautiful too. I really wanted to get it, but it just wasn't in the cards for me then. But I just say, like, if you are going to launch a console, launch one with black and white. Those are the basic colors. Everybody goes for either black or white. And then later on down the road, get the specialty ones. But no, usually what Xbox does is they'll launch with a black console, and then they won't launch a white console for like a whole other year later. Like, it took me so long to get a white Xbox One X. Which Josh still has. So what's going to end up happening is when we get the Series X, we're still debating if we're just going to get one at this point, because we don't know if it comes out with a white one, then yes, I will be getting it. But if it's just a black one, honestly, I can use my X. Like, he can take the Series X.
Mine.
Yeah.
Say as a housewarming gift. So she has my X, the white one. It's the Glacier White Xbox One, and I got that because it was white. It was the Sunset Overdrive Xbox One.
Yes, I remember when that came out.
Console, the white controller, so yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. But anyway, hopefully we'll get some word on that and confirmation that that's actually going to be the prices, because I don't know. I'm tired of these leaks. I need to be surprised.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, nothing in general.
Alrighty. Well, I think that is it for our very first episode. Oh my goodness, we finally did it! We did it! Yay! I'm gonna need a sound effect. We need to get a sound effect going next time. We need So thank you, Josh, for coming through and supporting. I appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Josh.
And for everyone else who ends up listening to this, thank you so much. This is our very first episode. We are slowly building our little baby. We didn't even get to talk about how Women Got Games came about, but we can leave that for the next episode. Well, okay, we're at 55. We're at 55 minutes. Do you think? Okay, so let's go through it really quickly. So we had 7 and 7 gaming, which was really fun.
I missed 7 and 7 gaming, by the way.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Until trailer from time to time.
Oh,
I really do. Honestly, I do.
Yeah. Oh, I do miss it too. So basically, 7 and 7 gaming was 7 of us created content on a YouTube channel for 7 days a week. But everybody started to get busy or couldn't do it, and I was one of those people. But I do miss it. It was a lot of fun. So we wanted a place where we could, number one, uplift women in gaming, but we are all inclusive. Everyone is included. We just more focused on the females because, listen, let's just be honest. We are kind of still the underdogs in the gaming space, even though we take up 46% of the community. We still get told to go to the kitchen and make people a sandwich. So, we don't think that that's fair, and we want a space to, number one, uplift women, number two, showcase their talents, number three, just be a community. So we will eventually be having guests on our podcast. The guests on our podcast can be male or female, non-binary, whatever. We are all inclusive. So if you are a gamer and are interested in being on the podcast, please let us know in the comments or send us a message on Twitter, because that would be awesome. Eventually, we'll start scheduling people when we get to that point. And then if you're a female who does gaming content, either on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, also please let us know, because we want to start featuring people on our YouTube channel. So if you want to do any gameplays or just talk about tech or geek nerd culture, whatever it is that you do that is for content purposes and you would like to be featured on the channel, please let us know as well. You can do it the same way. Just leave us a comment somewhere or message us on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Everywhere it's Women Got Games. And is there anything you wanted to add to that?
No, you basically hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
We were basically just talking one day. Leslie and I talk all the time. So we were basically just having conversations, and we came up with the idea of this. So, and then we all got hype. We got hype about it. So this has been like a long, a thing in the making for a while. So we was not going to let anything come in between, doing this. So yeah, here we are.
Yep. And so the podcast will continue from now on YouTube every Sunday. We were supposed to launch yesterday, but apparently YouTube has a 24-hour hold on being able to live stream, which I didn't know was a thing. But we're past those 24 hours, so here we are. So every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be able to be a fly on the wall as we talk about all things gaming and tech and whatever else we're feeling like talking about, because I'm sure one of us will end up on a tangent.
Well, I mean, they can ask questions and stuff too. You'll be able to see it.
Yeah, and exactly.
Like I said, you could post it up on the screen, but yeah.
I still need to learn. Oh yes, show. Okay, cool. Yeah, so
like, hit one of Josh's messages.
Okay.
Oh, you're on the computer. There you go. See.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
And then hit it again, and it'll go away.
Oh, sweet. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, so you can highlight messages and they just pop up on the screen, and then that way anyone watching can actually see it too, because all the messages that you see live I don't see. So that means anybody else possibly, I guess. Well,
Yeah,
no. If they're in the stream, then yes, they'll be able to see it. But like me or anybody that's in here like with us wouldn't be able to see, as far as I know.
gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, listen, it's a learning curve and I'm still learning. So, we will get it together at some point. And hopefully we can grow this little baby podcast into a full-grown thing. Maybe we can get some sponsors, get this thing going, you know?
There you go.
So, yes. Oh, wait, is this? Oh, here we go. That was you, a private chat. Sorry, I didn't see that before. Whew, okay, there we go. So thank you so much for coming through and checking out the very first episode of this podcast. We will be posting this on Anchor as well. And Anchor does its thing and posts it everywhere else. So for those of you listening out on the interwebs, thank you so much. This was our very first episode. Sorry if it's a little bit wonky. We're still getting our bearings, but yeah. So, Miss Gaming Gadgets and Technology, would you like to say goodbye?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. And we're done.